What's going on, guys? It's me, Parksy here, coach of the Armagh Modelers, bringing it back to Smash today here for TBF Season 1, Week number 1. We are going to be going against none other than Mike, my good friend from the DHBA. We have a little bit of rivalry between us because in the DHBA Season 4, he managed to beat me. Debatably because I misclicked. I was very nervous that game. It was my true first, one of my first leagues, and I accidentally didn't click Rock and EMZ in my Terrakion versus his Whimsicott, which I think did t- should I think in his words would have made a difference because his Whimsicott might have not been able to live it. But we did get revenge, fortunately, in the DGBA Season 5, where he made one or two misplays of his own, so we managed to beat him 1-0. So he beat me 1-0 Season 4, I beat him 1-0 Season 5, and now we are going to be facing off against each other in the TBF. Very weird team that he brought. I felt like Mandibuzz was a lot better than Blastoise because his team really struggles against Hoop Unbound. Like, I mean, he has Gallade that can probably true a hit. If it is Assault Vest, the Justified, of course, is going to help it. But I could very easily have just run an attacking Hoop Unbound, and especially because that Salamence seems to be offensive, or I'm presuming to be offensive on the team, because he doesn't really need Defogments because he's got a Blastoise, then he doesn't really have any way to lower my attack, so I thought that was quite interesting. He also didn't bring the Mega Aggron or the Mew. I only had Fighting EMZ on my Kyurem Black really for the Mega Aggron, so it's kind of sucky that the Mega Aggron didn't come because it's kind of a wasted Z move. I can still use it versus Entei, but that's really the height of it, because I can hit all the other Pokemon for some pretty strong damage in comparison to the Z move, and I think that was the main three: Mandibuzz, Mega Aggron, and Mew. Mew I thought was definitely coming this game, and I was freaking out about. But now that Mew hasn't came, I felt a lot more confident. He has no Stealth Rock setters, and his only his only hazard setter is Galvantula with the sticky webs, which of course you got to be careful about. But if I can get up my sticky webs, that'd be nice. Especially if I can get a Tailwind up late game like Kyurem Black, I can just very easily sweep him. But the team that we brought is a bit of an unorthodox team, so if you do want to go check out the team in depth, why we're bringing the Pokemon to certain EVs and stuff like that, make sure to go check it out. It will be on my channel. It was yesterday, so you can just go check that out. Also, while you're down there, make sure to go check out Mike. His channel will be down below. Make sure to go see his side. He's doing a post-com for this battle, I believe, but he does mostly live com, so it's very good to see live com narration, because usually if you get hacks down, it's kind of like you get to see the rage of the Pokemon. I know that Gumby was like sharing some meme on the TBF about when you send in Superior, when Superior dodges an Icicle Crash. So yeah, but basically we have got 3 attacks, Rapid Spinning Mega Blastoise. We have got a 3 attacks, Life Orb, Stealth Rocking Nidoking with also Ice Beam, Poison Jab, and Earth Power. We have got a Blissey, just your regular EV spread with Ice Beam, Soft Boiled, Healing Wish, and Thunder Wave. We've got Rabombi with Max Special Attack, Max Speed with a Moonblast, the Bug Buzz, Sticky Webs, and Tailwind. We have got a Fighting EMZ 4 attacks, Kyurem Black with Focus Blast, Iron Head, Fusion Bolt, and Ice Beam. And finally, we've got a Rindoberry, Max HP, Max Defense, Quagsire with Earthquake, Scald, Toxic, and Recover. So that's the team that we decided to bring against Mike, as his team that he brought was Entei, Gallade, Galvantula, Florges, Blastoise, and Salamence. Now, one crucial thing to remember about his team is that he has got a Super Z Entei and an Attacking Z Salamence. That means that they both can't be a Z users, so it's either he's running something like a Choice Demence or he's running something like a Choice Entei. So I mean, there is always the possibility he might be running 2 Z moves, but I feel like that, like I mean, Mike's done crazier things. He's brought stuff like Druddigon with no item and stuff, which is like accidental amazing prep versus me because it managed to take a little Mux hits better. But anyway, so that's always an option. But Salamence, again, very scary. I had to make sure that I can either keep my Mega Blastoise's health up or my Quagsire and get up my Stealth Rock as soon as possible. Taking that into consideration, I'm going to lead off my Nidoking, because if he does decide to lead off his Galvantula, which I believe is his lead of choice, the Galvantula is like a pretty darn good lead on most occasions, then I can shoot Dual Stabs, I can chew an Energy Ball, and I can just threaten it out with something like an Earth Power or a Sludge Wave. So without further ado, let's go do that. As you're going to see, I am going to go straight ahead and lead off with my Nidoking, as he actually does lead off with his Gallade. So turn 1, and I do not get the prediction correct, but it's fine because I do have my Quagsire in the back, so as long as he does not get about 50 Zen Headbutt flinches, I should be fine. As you are going to see that instead of going for a Zen Headbutt, he actually goes for the Earthquake, so I know that a little bit more coverage that this Gallade has, plus also that is not going to be doing any damage to my Quagsire, so I'm going to go for the Earthquake here, just because I figured he might go into Florges. And again, as I said from the team builder, I feel like Calm Mind, Synthesis, Moonblast, and Psychic Florges can be very scary versus my team, but he goes out in the Blastoise, so fair play. I'm going to go Toxicus Blastoise, however, because this is the Pokemon that is going to be in the way of me setting up my hazards. If I can set up my hazards here with Stealth Rock and with Sticky Webs, if that Salamence can take 2 turns of Stealth Rock Shift, then that will be in range of my Quagsire's Ice Beam. If it can take 1 Stealth Rock Shift, it will be in range of my Blissey's Ice Beam, so that's going to be very nice. So I am just going to go ahead, as he is going to go pull the switch out into the Florges here, but I decide to go into my Ribombee because I feel like this is going to be the perfect time to set up my Sticky Webs. So he's just going to go into his Florges. I'm still just going to go switch out into my Nidoking because this is going to be a very easy Pokemon to switch on because I felt like he might go for the Moonblast. However, he is going to go into the Entei, and if I know anything about Mike, okay, some of my plays took into consideration what I know about Mike. I know that Mike is not a Pokemon that really likes risking things. I know that he's quite a safe player, so I plan to abuse that this game by making him think that I am Scarf Nidoking, because if you remember from the WBA Season 5 game that I played against him, he, for almost the entirety of the game, he thought that I was Scarf Hydreigon until I did show the Habanberry. So I am going to try and bluff that I am a Scarf Nidoking this game, which does make quite some sense against this team. It can revenge kill stuff like the Salamence, the Entei, and it can also come in and Sticky Webs and outspeed some stuff like Gallade. So knowing that he's going to switch here, I am actually going to set up my Stealth Rocks. As you're going to see, he's going to go out into Gallade. So very nice prediction on my part, getting up those early Stealth Rocks, really pressuring him for all his switches that he is doing. As I am going to go straight out into my Ribombee here, predicting the Zen Headbutt, that we can take one of them and force him out with my Moonblast Stab. But he is going to go for the knockoff here, so that works out a lot better for us because our Ribombee at the end of the day is going to have a lot of higher health. As I am just going to go fire off actually no, I'm going to double out into my Nidoking, expecting Florges to actually be his main response to this Pokemon to take a Moonblast, because Blastoise does not take 2 Moonblasts, so I guess he was just sacking this off for some reason. But I really expected him to go for the Rapid Spin here. If he does go for a Scald, and if he is a defensive variant, I will only be taking about 60% maximum. Again, really expected Florges Entei to be the switch, which is why I made the double out into my Nidoking. Again, I have to play really aggressive around Mike to try and wear down his team like hazards. But he goes out into Blastoise, so here I'm going to Earth Power, so at the very worst he gets 60, he gets a max roll Scald, he gets 60%, and he gets the burn, so that's whatever. But it actually turns out to be an offensive Blastoise. Like, this is like max special attack, or very close to it, as you're going to see from the Earth Power. We're going to do a huge amount of damage. If he was Spadef, that would have not done anywhere near that amount of damage, but he is going to get the Scald off, and that's going to do 94%. I actually thought that was a crit at the start, but no, it was actually just max offense Blastoise, so that is going to be very nasty because my Nidoking is going to be very worn down. But as I said previously, if you guys were paying attention, I do have Healing Wish Blissey in the back, so Nidoking can definitely be a Pokemon that can stand in late game and get that Healing Wish up. Although its speed tier isn't very nice, I still have my Ribombee in the back, so if I can set up Sticky Webs on the Florges, on the Gallade, or on the Galvantula, then that would be great. As I'm going to be switching out here, going out into my Blissey, knowing I can shoot any hit. And although I can't really get the most momentum out of Blissey, I definitely can try and threaten out this Galvantula, because it cannot chew 2 seismic tosses and it just deals no damage back. So he's going to go out into Florges and make the best play possible and go for the Thunder Wave. If he went out into Gallade, Entei, or Salamence, I would have crippled them, but he makes the right play going out into Florges. If this is the Calm Mind variant of Florges, then I will have this thing Thunder Wave, so that my Nidoking can come in and get his 75% chip damage off his poison jabs as I said previously. But I am going to go out as a Blastoise. This forces Florges to show if it does have the heal bell, because if it doesn't, then that means they can very easily just go and power down his entirety of his team. He's just going to go for the wish here. I'm going to go for the scald, because if he does go out into something like the Gallade, then I will be able to burn it. If he goes out into the Salamence, I always have a 30% chance to burn it. Again, with Entei, I will be able to knock out after Stealth Roxing. Eventually, again, has a chance of getting burnt and will be taking a huge amount of damage. Mega Blastoise is no joke, ladies and gentlemen, but he is going to go stay in here and get off the aromatherapy. A bit of an interesting play, because I could have very well Rapid Spin that turn. I felt like he might want to try and take some advantage and go for some offensive momentum versus me by going out into the Galvantula to chew the Rapid Spin and threaten me out, because with Nidoking at 6%, I don't have a thing that can chew a Thunder and appreciate. Well, I mean, I can, but Quagstar is 4 times weak to Energy Ball, and Kieran Black does not like getting paralyzed, so I am going to go for the Rapid Spin here in the turn as he goes for the Wish, as he is going to go into the Galvantula. Again, like, that was such a risky play, because the previous time I went out into Blastoise and I scalded, and I showed that I was not it's hard to put into words, but I would not let him wish pass into anything, and he just goes and switches out into Galvantula, so that's going to be very unfortunate. But I'm going to be able to get my sticky webs up here with my Rabombi, and since his Blastoise is gone, that means that those sticky webs should be up to stay, unless Florges is carrying Wish, aromatherapy and defog. But I am going to go out into Kieran Black here, as it is the only thing that can really 1v1 this Galvantula, get off a good bit of damage and not allow him to set up the sticky webs, because I really don't want to be forced to go out into my Blastoise again just to Rapid Spin. So he's going to go for a Thunder here, going to try and get some paralysis off my Kieran, but unfortunately he is not going to get the paralysis, even though I believe it was in his favour to get a paralysis. 30 by 30 over 10, that's 21. No, okay, I do think it was in his favour. That was hold on, I have to do quick maths here for a second. Quick maths. Yeah, that was not in his favor at all. But anyway, so I am going to be able to knock out the Galvantula here, as he is going to go into the Gallade. Now, if this Gallade is at -1 defense after close combat, if it does have it, then that means that I can revenge this thing with my Kieran Black. So I'm just going to go out into my Nidoking. Kieran Black is a lot more important late game than this Nidoking, so I'm just going to go ahead and sack it off, as it's going to go for the close combat, and that damage is that defense drop is going to be crucial, because essentially I get another kill with my Kieran Black, because Fusion Bolt into Iron Head can deal a lot of damage to Florges, and plus also have a 30% chance to flinch. As I'm going to go into my Kieran Black, and he decides to go out into the Entei, and I kind of crossed my mind at this point, he could be Choice Scarf Entei. That could be Flying EMZ, Dragon Dance, Salamence in the back, the set I explained from the Team Builder, Flying EMZ, Fire Blast, and Dragon Claw / Outrage of the Dragon Dance. This could be Choice Scarf, but fortunately, I take my risks. I take my chances. I cannot risk this thing. I mean, I had to take the risk that this thing isn't Choice Scarf. Unfortunately, it isn't. I think he said late after game that he actually bought 2 Z users, which, I mean, you do you, I guess. But he is going to go out into the Gallade here, and I do need my Quagsire to take on the Salamence stack. There's a defensive pivot into it, so here I am actually going to go out into my Mega Blastoise. I know that I can take a close combat from this Pokemon unless it gets an absolute max roll. I believe that its max roll is 51%, but he's going to get a middle roll, so that's going to be quite nice, as he is going to drop his defenses. I'm going to go for the Scald here. If he goes out into Florges, that's great. I can always go into my Blissey and then Healing Wish up my Kieran Black. Kieran Black only takes 87% maximum from the Florges. That isn't invested, which he did show to be. So I'm just going to be able to knock out his Gallade with a critical Scald, which is very unfortunate. But it might have worked out for him, because I'm trying to work out Gallade's speed. If he didn't have that much speed in his Gallade Blissey, he might have been able to outspeed. But here I make a little bit of a misplay. I just decided to sack off my Blastoise, completely forgetting this thing gets Moxie, so he's going to get the Moxie boost here with the +1, as I am forced here to go out into my Blissey. I could have went out to my Quagsire, but he still has potential Flying EMZ on him. So I'm going to go into my Blissey here. This Ice Beam does knock him out, as unfortunately he does show to be the Flying EMZ. He does not take the bait. He does not go for the Dragon Dance. Instead, he is going to go for the Supersonic Side Strike, which is very unfortunate, as he is going to knock out my Blissey here. Kieran Black cannot knock out this Pokemon. I did show a while back when I went for something like I did go for 2 different moves on an occasion with Kieran Black, and then I also showed my Fighting EMZ. So yeah, as I am going to go for the Ice Beam. Unfortunately, as he does go for the fly, I was considering going for the recover here. If I did go for the recover, then I'd been in such a good position because, as I said previously, it would have been a little bit of a hacksy win, but I would have to go for the Iron Head flinch onto the floor edges, and then I would have been able to knock it out. As he is going to go for the fly here, as I am going to get my ice beam off. Now this had a chance, it had about a 15% chance to knock him out, as unfortunately we do not get the roll, and this Salamence is going to be living another day, as he is just going to be able to lock himself into outrage and go for the knockout. So GG to Mike getting the 2-0 win. Very unusual plays, but they did work out in his favour, so no disrespect to my opponent, of course. It's always fun battling Mike, we always have a nice little bit of rivalry. I'm sure he'll be gloating about it. No, not like boasting. Yeah, that's it. Boasting about his win a little bit, but that's fine because that's gonna make it a little bit more competitive in playoffs. We got the week 1 loss out of the way, as you guys know if you've been here for a while with the Armados, with the good old Parksy. We don't, our week 1 games aren't the best. We usually go up against, how do I say it, the best teams week 1. We get that unfortunate week 1. Douchebag luck. And this week, I definitely think that Mike was one of the toughest teams we had to go against. I think another team that's quite hard for me to actually no. I'm pretty sure Mike. I was looking through it. Mike is probably the hardest team that I had to go against. Of course, that is taken into no consideration the coaches. That was just taken into consideration rosters. So if someone does like 3-0 me, then I don't want people being like, oh well, you should. Mike was better, but that's simply based on a player like skills or like there could be a lot of tech that's brought versus me, and that's what could win someone the game. So I'm just saying, based on rosters and based on natural sets, I think that Mike definitely is going to be one of my toughest opponents, and I'm happy for him. I wish him the best of luck against his opponents. But next week we're going to be going against Genghis, Coach of the Raging Igron, the guy that slagged off the entirety of my draft throughout the entire stream. So Genghis, all I can say is that I'm coming for you, and I am bringing the heat. So me and Genghis are super ready to go against each other. Like, this has been months in the making, where me and Genghis were going to be going against each other, even though I beat him in every single mock battle and every single battle that we've done so far. But we're going to be ending off this video, guys. If you do enjoy me, make sure to go leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Make sure to go check out Mike's channel, share him some love, say the Parksy sent you. Stay awesome, guys. Don't worry, we will smash it next week, and goodbye.